Marcus Carlson is here. Marcus, first up, the plane makers Airbus and Boeing are slugging it out for aircraft sales in Asia.
They are indeed. The Singapore Airshow is in full swing, and Airbus picked up an order for 63 aircraft from a Vietnamese airline on Tuesday. At catalogue prices, this order is worth some $6.4 billion, which underscores Asia's growing importance for plane makers. Airbus also stressed that its most recent edition, the Airbus A350, will be delivered on time. Olivia Salazar-Winspear has more.
The new addition to the Airbus family spreads its wings. The A350 made its first public appearance at the Singapore Airshow after its maiden flight in June last year. It's no coincidence that the plane launched in Asia. Aeronautical executives have their eyes trained on the region as they look to get a piece of the key market of the future.
We've sold, we've got 814 orders, 39 customers in 30 countries. And 30% of these orders are for the Asian markets, are for Asian airlines.
It's an opinion echoed at Boeing, where demand for the company's liners in the region is up.
Well, as we look out the next 20 years, the Asia-Pacific market will be the largest marketplace in the world. We expect passenger traffic to grow about 6.3% per year, cargo traffic at 5.8%. And as a result of this growth, we see a total demand of close to 13,000 airplanes here in the Asia-Pacific region.
Lighter and more energy efficient, the A350 can carry between 200 and 400 passengers. It will sell for between $254 and $332 million, a competitive price tag in the category that includes rival company Boeing's 777 and 787 jets. Its turn on the tarmac at the Airshow on Tuesday was also a strong message to their clients that Airbus should deliver this new model on time.
Moving on now, there'll be no nasty surprises on my watch. That seems to be the message from the new head of the U.S. Federal Reserve. Janet Yellen testified to American lawmakers on Capitol Hill for the first time since she was sworn in as Fed chair. She said there are no plans to divert from the course set out by her predecessor, Ben Bernanke. Yellen said that the Fed will continue to dial back its stimulus for the U.S. economy. She said, though, that it'll happen gradually to ensure that the economy is actually improving. Let's listen in.
Since the financial crisis and the depths of the recession, substantial progress has been made in restoring the economy to health and in strengthening the financial system. Still, there is more to do. Too many Americans remain unemployed. Inflation remains below our longer-term objective.
And it appears that U.S. investors, they liked what they heard there from Janet Yellen, because we are seeing American stock markets trading to the upside with some real gains there for the Dow Jones Industrial Average up more than 1% this hour. The Nasdaq and the S&P 500, they're also up just shy of 1%. All indices posting solid gains. In Europe at the close, the indices were also higher, with the focus very much on Capitol Hill and that testimony by Janet Yellen. As you can see here, all three main indices in Europe up more than 1%. In the case of the DAX, it was up more than 2% even. So some real gains there in Europe as well. Now, there is a risk that France will miss its target to reduce its budget deficit, and the government should be looking at further cuts. That's according to the state auditor, Cour des Comptes here in France. The watchdog says that the government is too optimistic that its cost-cutting measures will pay off. It also says that the government's forecast for tax revenues is too high. The government has pledged to cut the budget deficit to 3.6% of France's gross domestic product this year. Let's take a look at some company news now and some companies in the spotlight. Barclays is under fire for hiking bonuses while axing jobs. While outlining its quarterly results this Tuesday, the British bank unveiled plans to slash up to 12,000 jobs. It also emerged that Barclays' bonus pool for bankers increased by £210 million last year. Chief Executive Anthony Jenkins defends the higher payments. He says the bank needs to stay competitive on pay to attract the right employees. Shares in TomTom dropped almost 15% during Tuesday's session in Europe. It came as the maker of satellite navigation devices warned that its sales would drop this year. This as users are swapping dedicated navigation devices for smartphones. TomTom's fourth quarter earnings also dropped 97% to €3 million. And General Motors says its new chief executive, Mary Barra, will earn $14.4 million this year. GM made her payment details public after reports last week that she would earn $4.4 million. Her male predecessor, Dan Akerson, made $9 million last year, and feminist campaigners expressed outrage that Barra would earn less than him. She's the first woman to lead a global car manufacturer. $14.4 million, that's not too